Okay, hello ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm not doing metal detecting, I'm working, and there's something I wanted to show you. I'm in Vienna in my Austrian shop, which I have in Vienna, and as well as metal detecting, I do a different type of metal detecting that might seem odd to you, and I've got a range of stuff that I found here, and I'm going to show it you now, and this is it. Okay, I'm also a scuba diver, and here's some of the metal I've been searching for, and these are from, let me get it all in focus, and I'll show you each piece one by one and tell you a story about it. So this is the other type of metal detecting I do, and these are from German warship wrecks, and let's start with here, and the wrecks from the First World War. This piece, for example, believe it or believe it not, it's solid brass, it's pretty heavy, and it's a plug, an electrical plug, and it goes into this plug socket. It doesn't actually fit into that one, it's a different, got different pins on that one. This is a 3-pin there, you can see vertical, and this one is a 4-pin. I don't know where that one went to, maybe I left it there. There is some writing on it, and it says Schwenklatern, which means like a swinging lamp. So the piece that would have come from this had like a flexible brass hose on it, and on the other end was a lamp, and the plug that went in would look something similar to that one. So that's an electrical plug, and this came, wow, 45 meters deep, that one, and I found it on the outside of the ship many years ago, and it's from a big battleship, a German First World War battleship. This is a lamp. I did a solo dive, 4 decks in, between 30 and 35 meters deep, alone to get this. Wouldn't do that now, many years ago when I had more balls, but I won't do it now, not at age 63 in a couple of days. I still dive, but not so often. So that's a nice piece. I got really proud of that one because I got that myself, and you can see how big it is. Here's another one. This is called a cage lamp, and I'm sure you're all familiar with these. And I did have one that had a switch on it, on and off switch. This one don't. But I gave that back to the ship it came from, but its modern day counterpart, the lamp, and I've got a photo here where I gave it back to the captain. That's the captain there, that's the captain, that's me there, Fatty Jeff. I was fat then, I'm fat now, but not as fat as then. And as a reward they gave me an invite to that ship in Wilhelmshaven, which I drove from Vienna about 8 or 9 years ago, I don't know exactly when, but and they're all the other old captains of the ship, and that ship was called Frigate Karlsruhe, and I learned that the lamp I had came from a ship called the Karlsruhe, and that is a city in Germany, and it just so happens to be the sister city of Nottingham, where I come from, so quite a coincidence. So and it did make the papers because there's a paper item there. You can probably see the reflection in the window of the 2 windows behind. Yeah, so there's 2 windows behind in the shop in Vienna. So back to these pieces. This is another lamp that came off the bridge, and you can see it's got all these holes in. A lamp, actually a bulb goes inside there, and I think these were just a means to keep it cool, something similar to a radiator, because it would get quite hot inside there. And if I turn it around, the light would shine out of this part, which is like a magnifying glass, and I believe that it shone onto the table where the charts were shown. So it's like a chart map lamp or something like that, and you can see the German writing on there and the switch, on and off switch. This is like a telegraph, backboard meaning port side. And that card, I made that because when I actually got this, it was disintegrating in front of my eyes when I brought it up, and I took a photo very, very quick, and I made with a red pen and a black pen a card that simulated the one that was actually in. So if you think that looks new, that's because it is. Here's some other pieces I found. These are quite large. You can see by the size of my hand against it. These are from a British ship, and there's a date on the bottom of these which says 1916 somewhere, I believe. I don't know if I can get that in focus, but somewhere on it says 1916. This is the top part. The actual shell that went in there was made of steel or iron, and that has actually corroded, and this was on the top of the steel or iron. So I'm just going to put that about the length it was. So that's the sort of length it was, maybe 70 or 80 centimetres, the best part of a yard. You can see there if I turn the camera that way. But they've disintegrated now, and if you look on these, you can see there's like some sort of setting mode on it. So when it hit the target at the other end, it told it when to explode, whether that be in mid-air or whatever. But quite interesting. Got a few of these. And then these are from a place called Fort Bovisand down in Plymouth. There's a fort, and it's out to sea. It's a round circular stone thing, quite big, and on it during World War II they had guys and gun emplacements on it with machine guns, and obviously every now and again a round would go through and not fire, because if you look at the bottom you can see that the middle's not been pierced or with the pin, and they would just fall onto the fort, roll off and down and into the sea, and we found those there. This piece, that's a steam gauge from, I'm not sure which ship that was from, but it's a steam gauge, and I remember seeing a very, very huge conger eel when I went in to retrieve this, and it put the shits up me, to be quite honest. So I was very quick. I just ripped it off. And the screws, you can see where it was screwed in, but the screws were really rusted and corroded, and it came off easy, and I made a very, very quick exit because this conger eel was well over 2 meters long, and you don't want one of them. This is a bulkhead lamp, which I also ripped off the bulkhead without any tools. It was really rusting away. I really had to work hard to get this off, and I was positively out of breath. And it was from a ship called the Colne. Beautiful lamp. They're all beautiful. I spent a lot of time cleaning them up. They're my pride and joy now. And I thought you might be interested to see these. These two items were joined together. These were right on the seabed from a ship called the Koenig, and they was bolted together through these bolt holes here, there, and at the top there, and also through these bolt holes here, which is on either side, and they went underneath like a Y-shaped type thing. So I had to cut them off underneath, and then I had to cut through the bolts, and I got these up, and these weigh an absolute ton. They're very difficult to pick up. I don't know how many kilo, but very heavy. So fetch you quite a bit. When I first saw them, I thought they was shells, because they looked like it for a moment, and then I realised that they weren't. But I was halfway through digging them out and sawing them off. What I can tell you is that these parts, they screw off, and I think what these was, because there was some well, there it is, it's off. I'll show you this. At this end, maybe you can't see, but at that end, that's copper pipe inside there, and it's maybe 3 inches, 3.5 inches across. and I had to saw them off there too, and these copper pipes just ran along the seabed to infinity. I couldn't see the other end. And I think that there was steam pipes of some description, and I think that this part was placed with a thread on, so all steam pipes get water in them, so I think that this was some way of draining the water from the steam pipes. But I often thought about taking this one off and this one off, drilling a hole in the top and making a salt and pepper pot from them. But I guess the better as they are, the more original. And they do have on them some marks. I had these fettled by a fettler because it was very rough, and if you can see, there's an M and a crown above it, and that is positive proof